If this story stirred something in your heart, give it a like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe to Revenge Forge, where every story reminds us that pain can lead to power. Her heels clicked in the dark, but they weren't coming home to me. At 2 a.m., I stood in our driveway staring at her phone's GPS dot parked at his address. That was the moment my marriage turned to ash. My name's Dylan Mercer, and I'm a 38-year-old construction project manager at a mid-sized firm in Raleigh, North Carolina. Life was a solid blueprint. Paige, my wife of 8 years, was a 30-year-old marketing consultant with eyes that could sell a skyscraper. We had it all: a brick colonial house in the suburbs, weekend drives to the Outer Banks, and a shared love for dive bar karaoke. My firm oversaw $35 million in commercial projects, netting me $155,000 a year. Paige's marketing gigs pulled in $80,000, enough for her to buy designer bags and for us to plan a Greece trip. No kids yet, but we had a vision board pinned with baby names. Our friends, guys like my right-hand man Nate and Paige's confidant Brooke, saw us as bulletproof. The couple who had it figured out. Until the cracks started to show. It began like a slow leak. Paige's client meeting stretched into the night, her perfume bolder, her kisses fleeting. Her phone, once an open book, now stayed locked, buzzing at odd hours. Just work, she'd purr, trailing her fingers along my arm. I bought it. She was my Paige, sharp, loyal mine. But doubt is a sharp blade. Her laughter felt staged, her stories too polished. She'd slip out for errands in dresses that hugged her curves too tightly for the grocery store. The first jolt came 5 months ago. I was reviewing a $4 million retail project, eyes glazed from blueprints, when Paige texted she'd be late, another strategy session. I got home at 9 p.m., the house dark, her SUV gone. Odd. I called. Voicemail. At midnight she breezed in, lips glossy, hair tousled. Client dinner ran long, she said, her voice like honey. Her breath carried bourbon, not her usual Chardonnay. I nodded, ignoring the twist in my gut. Work, I told myself. Just work. But the twists tightened. She started wearing lingerie. I didn't recognize black lace, not my style. Her gym bag held heels I'd never seen. Once I caught her whispering into her phone, "Not tonight, he's here," before hanging up fast. "Who was that?" I asked casual. She laughed too quick, Brooke being dramatic. Her eyes didn't meet mine. I let it slide, but sleep became a stranger. Nate saw it first. We were at a sports bar, neon flickering, beers sweating on the table. "Paige is different, man," he said, voice low. "Saw her at a rooftop lounge last week, cozy with some slick type. Didn't look like business." My jaw clenched, but I waved it off. "She's networking." Nate raised an eyebrow. "Networking doesn't look that intimate." His words stuck a splinter I couldn't pull. The dam broke on a stormy Thursday. I'd left the office, early rain pounding Raleigh's streets. Paige was at a client pitch. Her tablet sat on the kitchen counter, a rare oversight. I wasn't prying, not really, but a notification pinged. From Austin Heller, subject tonight. My chest tightened. I tapped. "Can't stop thinking about you, Paige. 9 p.m., the Oak. That dress kills me." The world tilted. Paige. The Oak. I scrolled, hands shaking. Emails flirty, raw, stretching back months. Austin Heller, 35, a commercial real estate broker with a $20 million portfolio and a shark's grin. Photos: Paige in his Mercedes, her lips brushing his jaw. One line seared me: "Dylan's too busy to notice. Let's make this ours. My wife. My life. A lie." I didn't scream, I didn't break anything. I printed the emails, my pulse a drum, and stashed them in my safe. When Paige got home at 11 p.m., rain-soaked and glowing, I played the part. "Rough day?" I asked, voice smooth. She nodded, kicking off her heels. "Yeah, clients are demanding." I smiled, but inside I was a furnace, rage, hurt, and something sharper. Resolve. The next week I became a shadow in my own life. I watched her every move. Her smiles were too bright, her excuses too rehearsed. I dug into Austin. His LinkedIn painted a hustler, charming cutthroat, the kind who'd close a deal and steal your soul. I checked Paige's bank app, $3,000 in unexplained transfers, small enough to miss, big enough to sting. To him, I wasn't sure. But I was done being blind. Nate pushed me to act. We met at a coffee shop, steam curling from our cups. "Confront her, Dylan," he said. "This ain't you." I shook my head. Not yet. I need a blade, not a fist. He grinned, respecting the fire. That's when I remembered Paige's old work laptop tucked in a closet. If it held more, I'd have her. Late that night, while Paige was at a networking event, I booted it up. No password, careless. Her email synced, and there it was, a thread with Austin dated weeks ago. I'm falling for you, Paige. Leave him. We'll build something real. Her reply, I want to, but Dylan's too steady. I need time. Steady. The word mocked me. I found more hotel bookings, $500 for a weekend. Texts synced from her cloud. He's working late. Come over. My hands shook, but I copied everything to a drive. Anger didn't cloud me. It focused me. I tracked her, not proud, but I had to know. One night I tailed her client dinner in Nate's truck. She parked at the Oak, a trendy bar with leather booths. Through the window I saw her with Austin, his hand grazing her thigh, her laugh a knife in my chest. I snapped photos, my grip iron. I wanted to storm in, but I held back. This wasn't about rage, it was about winning. The twist hit at work. I was pitching a $5 million mall project when my assistant Lauren buzzed me. Someone's here, Dylan. Says it's urgent. I frowned. Who? She paused. Brooke. Paige's friend. My gut twisted. Brooke. I met her in the lobby, her face, pale eyes darting. Dylan. I'm sorry, she whispered, handing me a flash drive. I saw Paige with Austin last month. I followed them. It's bad. I took it, voice steady. How bad? She swallowed. He's been in your house. I recorded it. I drove to a park, rain drumming the windshield, and plugged in the drive. The video was shaky but brutal. Paige and Austin in our living room, her on his lap, their laughter filling my home. Timestamp 2 weeks ago when I was at a site visit. Brooke's voiceover. I didn't want to hurt you, but you need to know. The clip ended with Paige's whisper. This is our secret, Austin. Our home. Our life. Defiled. I didn't crumble. I burned. I hired a private investigator, Owen, a grizzled ex-cop with a knack for discretion. Cost me $5,000, but I didn't blink. Give me everything, I told him. He nodded. 1 week. While Owen worked, I played the perfect husband. I cooked Paige's favorite steak, planned a movie night, kissed her like nothing was wrong. She melted into it, her eyes soft, oblivious. But I saw the lies in every touch. Owen delivered in 6 days. We met at a diner, coffee bitter in the air. Your wife's deep in it, he said, sliding me a folder. Photos, Paige at Austin's condo, their silhouettes in a window. Phone logs, 95 texts in 3 days. A hotel receipt, $600. And a kicker, Austin's email to Paige hacked from his account. I'm closing a $10 million deal. Come with me to Miami. Dylan's nothing. Miami. The word was a slap. She wasn't just cheating, she was planning to bolt. I thanked Owen, my voice ice. At home, Paige was out, another meeting. I sat in my study, the folder open, whiskey burning my throat. I wasn't just fighting for me. I was fighting for the man who'd built this life, who'd trusted her. The man she'd betrayed. My firm was hosting a client summit in 10 days, a glitzy event with 200 investors, including Austin's brokerage. Perfect. I'd turn their game into my battlefield. I called Brooke. You're coming to the summit, I said. Bring your evidence. She hesitated. Dylan. This could ruin her. I smirked. She ruined herself. Next, I looped in Nate. You're my eyes, I told him. I need you sharp. He grinned. Let's make 'em bleed, brother. The summit loomed, and I played my role. Paige was ecstatic, picking a ruby dress that hugged her curves. I complimented her, my smile a blade. She had no idea. Neither did Austin. But I did. And that was power. The night before the summit, I sat in the dark, the folder glowing under my desk lamp. Photos, texts, videos. A marriage in ashes. I poured another whiskey, the burn steadying me. Tomorrow I'd light the fuse. Paige slept upstairs, her secrets safe in her dreams. I didn't sleep. I burned. The summit was my battlefield, and I was armed to the teeth. Raleigh's Grand Meridian Hotel shimmered with 200 investors, contractors, and power players in black ties and sequined gowns. Chandeliers cast a golden haze, but the air crackled with my intent. Paige floated through the crowd, her ruby dress a siren's call, charming a client with her trademark smile. Austin Heller worked the room, all slick confidence, sealing handshakes like he owned the night. They hadn't spotted me blending into the throng with Nate at my side. Owen's folder burned in my jacket, Brooke's flash drive a dagger in my pocket. This wasn't a gala. This was a reckoning. Nate downed his whiskey eyes sharp. You ready to blow this up, Dylan? I met his gaze, jaw set. They started the fire. I'm just bringing the gasoline. He nodded, sensing the steel in me. Brooke lingered near a marble column, her face tight, clutching a purse that held her video. Paige and Austin in our living room, their betrayal captured in grainy clarity. She'd done her part. Now it was time for mine. The evening played out like a high-stakes poker game. Paige was the perfect wife, gliding between guests, her laugh a blade I once cherished. Austin schmoozed with developers, his glances at her too bold, too possessive. I sipped bourbon, counting the moves. My firm's summit was a showcase, $40 million in projects, deals like the $6 million office complex I'd locked in last month. But tonight wasn't about contracts. It was about truth. The program kicked off. My boss, Victor Kane, took the stage touting our firm's vision. Polite claps followed. Then he waved me up. Dylan Mercer, our project lead, has a special announcement. Paige's eyes sparkled with pride, clueless. Austin leaned against a bar, smirking. I stepped to the podium, pulse steady, voice like a razor. Thank you, Victor, I said, scanning the crowd. We're here to celebrate trust, commitment, the foundations we build on. Paige's smile flickered a shadow of doubt. I plugged the flash drive into the projector. The screen erupted not with blueprints but with Paige and Austin. Emails, texts, photos, her in his Mercedes, his hand on her waist, the hotel kiss, and that gut punch line Dylan's too busy to notice. Let's make this ours. Gasps ripped through the room. Paige's glass hit the floor, shattering. Austin's face drained, his charm crumbling. I kept my tone cold, precise. Some foundations are built on lies. Tonight we expose them. I clicked to Austin's email, come with me to Miami. Dylan's nothing. The crowd buzzed, phones flashing as guests recorded. Paige gripped a chair, eyes wide with panic. Austin pushed toward the exit, but Nate had tipped off security. They blocked him. I locked eyes with her. Anything to add, Paige? Her mouth opened, silent. I stepped down the room, parting like a wound. Nate grabbed my arm. You did it, man. Let's go. But the flames weren't out. Outside, Raleigh's night was humid, streetlights glinting off wet pavement. Austin was by his car, cursing, keys slipping. I approached, steps deliberate. Running already, he spun, eyes wild. Mercer, you'll pay for this. I smirked, stepping closer. Threats, that's your play. He lunged, but Nate grabbed his shoulder, pinning him. Cool it, Heller. You're done. Austin yanked free, glaring. She never loved you. You're nothing. I leaned in, voice low. Then why's she still my wife? He climbed into his car, tires screeching as he fled. Back inside, Paige was gone. Brooke found me, her voice shaky. She bolted Dylan. I tried to stop her. I nodded, adrenaline fading to ice. Let her run. She can't hide. I drove home, the folder and drive on the seat, my mind replaying Paige's face, shock, shame, silence. Our house was dark, her SUV absent. I poured bourbon, the burn grounding me. The summit was my opening shot, but this wasn't over. The next morning, my phone lit up. A text from Paige, I'm at Brooks. Please, we need to talk. I ignored it. Instead, I called Owen, my PI. Got more. He chuckled. You're a bloodhound, Mercer. Check your inbox. I opened my laptop. A new file, audio from Austin's condo caught by a legal bug Owen planted. Paige's voice raw. This ends now, Austin. I'm done. Austin's reply venomous. You walk, I'll burn you. I've got your old invoices. One call in your business is ash. My grip tightened. Invoices. What the hell? I drove to Brooks, the audio looping in my head. Paige opened the door, no makeup, eyes hollow. Dylan. I cut her off, raising a hand. Sit, listen. We sat in Brooks' cramped living room, tension choking the air. I played the audio. Paige's face crumpled as Austin's threat rang out. What invoices? I demanded. She stared at the floor, voice barely audible. Before we married, I worked for a shady marketing firm. Overcharged clients, faked budgets. Austin was their broker, pulling strings. I got out, but he kept records. Said he'd leak them if I left him. My pulse roared. Blackmail. She nodded, tears falling. I thought I could control it. Then it grew. I'm so sorry, Dylan. I paced, fury and pity clashing. Why not tell me? She shook her head. I was scared, ashamed. I didn't want you to see me like that. I stopped staring at her. You didn't trust me. That's worse than the affair. Brooke hovered in the doorway, silent, her eyes soft with guilt. I walked out needing space. Paige's voice chased me, but I didn't turn back. In my car, I gripped the wheel, mind spinning. Blackmail, shady firms. It sounded like a Reddit stories plot, too wild for my life. But Paige's fear was real. So was Austin's threat. I needed more than her tears. I needed truth. I met Owen at the diner, grease thick in the air. He slid me a new folder. "Heller's a snake," he said. "Those invoices part of a $2,500,000 scam. He's still running it using Paige's old signatures to dodge audits." I flipped through forged documents, bank transfers, emails tying Austin to the firm. If it went public, Paige could face charges. "Why drag her in?" I asked. Owen sipped coffee. "Control. She's his shield. If she talks, he's exposed. If she stays, he's safe." I leaned back, gears turning. Austin wasn't just a cheater, he was a criminal. And Paige, for all her lies, was his pawn. I hated her betrayal, but I saw her trap. Shame locks tighter than chains. I drove to my office, the folder heavy. Lauren, my assistant, was there sorting project files. "You look like hell," she said, half smiling. I handed her the folder. "Check this. Tell me it's legit." She scanned it, eyes narrowing. "It's real. This guy's toast if it leaks." The first twist hit like lightning. Lauren called at 1 a.m., voice urgent. "Dylan, someone hacked our project database. Tried to flag a $3 million contract as fraud, your name's on it." I rushed to the office, the building dark. Lauren pulled up the logs. An IP address traced to Austin's brokerage. He wasn't just after Paige, he was gunning for me, trying to tank my career. If it stuck, I'd be fired, maybe sued. Lauren's eyes blazed. "This asshole's playing dirty." "What's the plan?" I smirked, adrenaline surging. "We play dirtier." I called Owen. "Dig into Austin's accounts. Everything." He laughed. "Your tab's growing, Mercer." I didn't care. This was personal. Owen delivered in 3 days bank records, offshore accounts, emails showing Austin siphoning $400,000 from his firm. Enough to bury him. But I needed a stage, not just evidence. Nate had a lead. "Austin's keynoting a real estate conference next week," he said. "Big players live stream." Perfect. I nodded. Like the summit, but global. I spent days planning. Lauren cross-referenced Austin's scams with our database, building an airtight case. Brooke kept tabs on Paige, who was laying low, unaware of my next move. I didn't want her involved, not yet. The conference was my chance to end Austin, not just for me, but for every life he'd poisoned. The second twist hit like a freight train. Brooke called, voice shaking. "Dylan, there's something you don't know about Austin. He's not just a broker." I frowned, gripping the phone. "What do you mean?" she swallowed. "He's my ex-husband. We divorced 5 years ago. He's been obsessed with Paige since I introduced them at a client event." My blood ran cold. Ex-husband Austin wasn't a random lover, he was a vengeful ghost using Paige to settle old scores. I hung up, mind reeling. This wasn't just betrayal, it was a vendetta. I didn't tell Paige. Instead, I dug deeper. Owen hacked Austin's old personal email, $300 for a dark web contact, and found messages from years ago, Austin ranting about Brooke's new friend, Paige, stealing his spotlight. It explained the blackmail, the intensity, the Miami plan. He didn't just want her. He wanted to destroy me to prove a point. The third twist came from Lauren. She called at midnight, voice tense. "Dylan, I found something in Austin's hacked emails. He's not alone. Your boss Victor is in on it." I froze. "Victor?" She nodded. "He's been funneling $500,000 through Austin's firm to dodge taxes. If you go down, he's clear." My world tilted. Victor, who'd mentored me, backed my projects, hosted our engagement party. I scanned the emails, Victor directing Austin to flag my contract using me as a scapegoat. If it blew, I'd take the fall, not them. I didn't confront Victor. Too risky. Instead, I built a fortress. Owen pulled Victor's accounts, linking him to Austin's $2,500,000 scam. Lauren secured our server, blocking further hacks. By the conference, I had a dossier: Austin's crimes, Victor's betrayal, Paige's blackmail. But I needed one more piece. I met Brooke at a cafe, rain streaking the windows. "You owe me the truth," I said. "What else do you know?" She hesitated, then spilled. "Paige tried to end it last month. Austin threatened to leak her invoices to your firm, not just her clients. He wanted to ruin you both." The conference loomed, and I played my role. Paige sensed something, her eyes searching mine, but I gave nothing away. She was out of moves, and Austin didn't know I held the deck. The morning of the conference, I got a voicemail from Paige. "Dylan, I'm sorry. Austin's dangerous. Be careful." Her voice cracked, scared. I deleted it. Dangerous men make mistakes. I was counting on it. At the Raleigh Convention Center, the hall thrummed with energy, 500 investors' cameras rolling Austin's keynote set to stream live. He stood backstage, adjusting his tie, oblivious to me in the crowd. Nate was by my side, grinning. "Time to light him up, brother." I nodded, my dossier ready. Austin thought he was untouchable. He was about to learn what falling felt like. The conference hall was a tinderbox, and I held the spark. Raleigh's Convention Center thrummed with 500 investors, developers, and brokers, their chatter swallowed by the hum of live stream cameras. Austin Heller stood center stage, his keynote in full swing, pitching a $10 million waterfront project with the slick charm of a man who thought he'd won. His tie was perfect, his smile sharper, but his eyes flicked to the exits, betraying the cracks in his armor. He knew I was out there. I stood in the crowd, my dossier a guillotine, Nate by my side, his grin a silent war cry. This wasn't just about Paige's affair or Victor's betrayal anymore. It was about every lie, every scheme, every moment Austin thought he could erase me. Nate nudged me, voice low. "He's sweating, Dylan. Hit him now." I nodded, pulse a steady drum. Lauren had worked her magic with the AV team, a $2,000 handshake for access, and stood ready at her laptop in the wings. As Austin wrapped his pitch, soaking in applause, I stepped forward, voice cutting through the din. "Mind if I share a counterpoint?" Austin's smile froze, his hand twitching. The organizer, a gray-haired exec named Margaret, hesitated but waved me up. "Keep it brief, Mercer." I took the mic, facing the crowd, cameras locked on me. Austin shifted, jaw tight. "I'm Dylan Mercer, a project manager here in Raleigh," I began. "Austin Heller sells dreams, but let's see his reality." Lauren hit play. The screen blazed, not with sleek renderings but with Austin's sins. Forged invoices, bank transfers, emails tying him to a $2,500,000 scam. Photos of him with Paige, my wife, in our home. His voice chilling from Owen's bug, "You walk, I'll burn you." Gasps erupted, phones flashing as investors recorded. I kept my tone lethal. "This man blackmailed my wife, framed me for fraud, and cheated his clients. Dreams, he's a nightmare." Chaos exploded. Austin lunged for the mic, face red. "Lies, he's unhinged." But Lauren played another clip, his email to Paige, "Dylan's nothing. Miami's ours." The hall roared, brokers shouting, cameras zooming. Margaret grabbed the mic. "This is over." Security hauled Austin off, his curses drowned by the crowd. I stepped down, heart pounding, Nate clapping my shoulder. "You burned him alive, man." I didn't smile. The war wasn't won. Outside, Raleigh's night was thick humidity clinging to my skin. My phone buzzed, a text from Paige. I saw the stream. "I'm so sorry. Please, let's talk." I ignored it, my mind on Austin's last glare. He wasn't done. Neither was I. I drove to the office, needing clarity. Lauren was there, eyes bright. "You're trending, Dylan. Reddit stories is eating this up." I frowned. "Good. Let it spread." She handed me a coffee. "What's next?" I leaned back, the dossier heavy. Victor's turn. The first twist hit like a gut punch. At 3 a.m., Owen called. "Mercer, Austin's not running. He's at a warehouse meeting someone." I sat up, bourbon forgotten. "Who?" Owen's voice was grim. "Your buddy Nate." My blood ran cold. "Nate. My brother in arms, my backup." "You're wrong," I snapped. Owen sighed. "Check your email." I opened my laptop, hands shaking. Owen's file showed texts from Nate's burner phone to Austin, dated last week. "Mercer's closing in. Keep me clean." A photo, Nate at a bar with Austin weeks ago, passing a USB. My chest tightened. Nate wasn't just a bystander, he was a traitor. I didn't sleep. At dawn, I called Nate to a construction site, cranes looming in the gray light. He showed up casual, a coffee in hand. "Heard you crushed it," he said, smirking. I slid my phone across the texts on screen. "Explain." His face fell, the act crumbling. "Dylan, listen," I cut him off, voice ice. "You sold me out. For what?" He looked away, jaw tight. "I owed Austin $20,000, bad bets. He said he'd wipe it if I fed him intel." I didn't know it'd go this far. I stepped closer, towering. "You knew enough." I walked away, his apologies fading into the hum of machinery. Nate was dead to me. The second twist cut deeper. Lauren texted at noon, "Check the firm's server. Someone's leaking project bids." I rushed to the office, the building quiet on a Sunday. Lauren pulled up the logs and IP linked to Victor's personal account, siphoning $4 million in bids to Austin's firm. If it leaked, I'd be blamed, my career torched. Lauren's eyes narrowed. Victor's desperate, Dylan. This is revenge. I nodded, fury rising. Then we end him. I called Owen. Trace Victor's finances. Everything. He laughed. Your wallet's screaming, Mercer. I didn't care. This was blood. Owen delivered in hours, bank records, emails, proof Victor took $75,000 from Austin to sabotage my projects. But there was more, a third twist. Owen's file included a voicemail from Victor to Austin, time-stamped last night. Mercer's not the only problem. Paige is talking to the feds. My heart stopped. Paige. The woman who'd broken me was turning on them. I met Brooke at a park, leaves crunching underfoot. Is it true, I asked? She nodded, eyes down. Paige sent the feds her old invoices naming Austin and Victor. She's risking everything. I stared, caught off guard. Why? Brooke sighed. She's trying to save you, Dylan, and herself. I didn't know whether to admire her or hate her more. Paige's betrayal was a knife, but her courage was a mirror reflecting my own fight. The fourth twist landed like a bomb. Lauren called at midnight, voice tense. Dylan, there's a new player. Austin's been wiring $100,000 to someone outside his firm. I rushed to the office, rain soaking my jacket. Lauren showed me the transfers linked to a shell company owned by none other than Brooke. My mind reeled. Brooke, Paige's confidant, Austin's ex-wife, Lauren frowned. She's been playing both sides, feeding you dirt to cover her tracks. I sat, betrayal piling on betrayal. Brooke wasn't just a friend, she was a puppeteer. I didn't confront Brooke. Instead, I built a trap. Owen hacked her account's $400 for a dark web contact, revealing emails where she egged Austin on pushing him to blackmail Paige while tipping me off to seem loyal. Her motive, revenge on Austin for their divorce and on Paige for stealing him years ago. She'd played us all a chess master in the shadows. The firm's annual board meeting was in 2 days, a closed-door session with 18 execs, my stage. I spent 48 hours preparing. Lauren and Owen compiled a dossier, Austin's scams, Victor's bribes, Brooke's double-dealing, Paige's blackmail. I didn't tell Paige. She was a wild card now, her own battle with the feds unfolding. The morning of the meeting, I got a text from her. I'm testifying tomorrow. I love you, Dylan, always will. I stared at it, torn. Love after this, I didn't reply. The board meeting was my endgame. I walked in, dossier in hand, Victor at the head, all smiles. Dylan, good to see you, he said, oblivious. The execs settled, expecting routine updates. I stood, voice like steel. We need to talk about integrity. Lauren patched in, remotely lit the screen. Austin's $2,500,000 scam. Victor's $75,000 bribe, Brooke's $100,000 scheme. The room froze, faces paling. Victor stammered. This is absurd. I played his voicemail. Mercer's the fall guy. The board erupted. Victor shouted denials, but the dossier was a noose. Security escorted him out, his empire crumbling. Austin was arrested that night, his warehouse raided, his fixer flipping to the feds. Victor faced charges, his legacy ash. Brooke vanished. Her shell company exposed, her game over. Paige's testimony sealed their fates, 3 years for Austin, probation for her. My projects were cleared, my name untarnished, a promotion dangled. But victory tasted like dust. I'd won the battle, but my home was a ruin. I met Paige at a diner weeks later, the air heavy with autumn. She looked different, quieter, raw. I'm rebuilding, she said, eyes steady. I don't expect you to stay, Dylan, but I'm trying to be the woman you loved. I studied her, searching for the spark we'd lost. I don't know if I can, I said, voice raw. She nodded, tears brimming. I'll keep trying. For you. I walked away, her words a weight I couldn't shake. Lauren became my rock, her wit a lifeline, though nothing romantic sparked. Nate sent a letter apologizing from Portland, but I didn't reply. I threw myself into work, landing a $7 million project that cemented my name. At night, I'd sit in my study, bourbon in hand, replaying Paige's laugh, Nate's grin, Victor's handshake. Was I right to burn it all down, to expose them so brutally? Or did I lose more than I gained chasing justice over love? Months later, I saw Paige at a jazz bar alone, sipping wine. She looked like herself again. Strong, real. She caught my eye, offered a small smile. I didn't approach, but I didn't look away. Lauren said Paige was mentoring young women, her business honest now. I kept building, forging a new life, scars and all. The pain shaped me, but it didn't break me. I'm still here, standing tall. What would you have done? Would you have fought, forgiven, or let it all go? You're here because this story meant something. Don't scroll away without leaving a like, a thought, and your subscription. Revenge Forge is where real stories find their voice, and yours.